flat for the index. So let's talk about some of the companies. Banking has been a sector in focus, PSU banks in particular. M. Narendra, Chairman of Indian Overseas Bank, is now with us. Mr. Narendra, hi, good morning. Yours is one bank where the government holding is quite high, 73.8%. If you could give us some timings in terms of when the government stake would be diluted.
We have worked out and we have put up yesterday and we got the board approval that at the rate of 16% credit growth and also taking into account the likely profit position, we may be needing a total capital requirement of 3,500 crores. And as you rightly said, the government has already got around 73.80%. And we expect some support from the government also. But currently we are very actively examining QIP of 1,200 crores. And we may be completing it in another 8 weeks' time. And we find the current market position is very ripe. And apart from that, we are also later may examine the other instruments which are available for our capital raising. This 1,200 crores, of course, we have yet to get what is the price that would be at the time of finalization. We may be maximum going up to 65% of the government holding.
Okay. Mr. Narendra, can you just give us more details about the 1,200 crore QIP that you're planning in the next 2 months? Have you already initiated talks with bankers?
Yeah, we had quite a lot of merchant bankers, both domestic and international. They have come and made a presentation. And only, of course, we have to finalize the final what number of bankers who have the experience in handling the QIP. We are also proposing a schedule for domestic and international, currently non-deal roadshow. And there are quite a lot of foreign institutional and domestic institutions where we may also have an interaction and try to get them our likely scenario for the current year in terms of performance and also so that we will be much prepared and final at the appropriate time. We maybe in the month of next 2 months we'll be getting this 1,200 crores. Our merchant bankers are confident that this issue being a fairly reasonable size, it would be easier for them to get this money.
Okay, but would you be comfortable raising this money at, since this will be semi-determined formula at the current pricing, or would you rather hope that it comes in at a higher price? What would be your fair assessment?
See, I think I am very happy that both the domestic and international institutional plus retail investors have found out the intrinsic value of the public sector bank and their ability to come back in terms of their recoveries and also reduction of the asset quality and improvement in the profit. In the nature of the loan being some of the NPAs having enough security support. So we feel that there is currently already a little uptrend in the market prices of the various public sector bank shares. And similar pattern, if it is maintained, we feel that currently we are, of course, these are all subject to getting the necessary approval of the Reserve Bank of India and the Government of India. Having yesterday got the board approval, now we have to write to the Reserve Bank as well as the Government of India. After their approval, I feel that the government also may be expecting that the bank should go to the institutional and other investors and get the QIP. And they are quite encouraging that this would be ideal. But as far as the price aspect, as you rightly said, that would be done at that time. And there is a formula and we need to give reasonably a better price for such of the institutional and other investors coming under the QIP.
Okay. Mr. Narendra, I'll just come back to the QIP details, but then even if you raise 1,200 crores via your QIP, you will still have 1,300 crores pending in terms of, the additional amount that you would need for your 3,500 crores to be completed in terms of your capital requirements in FY15. How would that be raised? Would it be raised via the government diluting their shareholding?
Yeah, see, last time also, I'm very acknowledging and also grateful to the government. They looking at the fact that at the appropriate time bank needs the capital support. They have been giving us the capital. Last year also we got 1,200 crores by preferential issue. And currently, of course, the provision which has been done in the interim budget, and also we have provided all the details to the government. We are awaiting from them what exactly the likely allocation, and I expect that our bank will get similar allocation from them. Along with that, of course, one is enhancing the recovery, enhancing the uptrend in the economic revival. Yesterday also the manufacturing and industrial production was good. So that shows that this year we may have a better credit growth in all segments, except for the fact that currently the monsoon aspect. If that is the case, my net profit or the retained profit also will be better. Other than that, as you rightly said, we are also looking the perpetual bond. You know that today, internationally, quite a lot of banks have gone for perpetual bond in the foreign currency, means in the international market. In domestically also, we are actively in touch with the government and the others that this market has to be activized, including, of course, some of the bigger banks are to take the lead. Then there will be a perpetual bond which is equivalent to core equity. That also we are looking. Of course, our core equity currently is much better. So from the Basel III, this core equity currently is very comfortable. However, the fact that we would like to maintain at 8%, accordingly at around 10.5% capital adequacy, these 3,500 crores have been arrived at the credit growth of 16%.
Okay. Would there be any contemplation of paring off stake in non-core assets, any holdings that the bank would be considering to pare off stake in order to raise the capital that is required? Or these two means QIP as well as government dilution would be the primary focus?
See, of course, our bank, IOB, don't have that much any such investment in any strategically, okay. Except one is we have something in civil and other certain institutions which are national importance, but not at such a great equity there. So we are that aspect we are not examining as on date.
Okay, just one last question then, Mr. Narendra, from my side, that, you know, in your conversation with the bankers, I'm sure in order to raise that 1,200 crore QIP, one of the key concerns that investors would have would be improving asset quality for the bank as well, and maybe some amount of stability in your earnings as well. Can you just give us a sense in terms of FY15, what your asset quality picture would look like, and whether FY15 would be better in terms of your key fundamentals?
See, currently we had done a lot of cleaning exercise in the last year. We have taken a hit. At the same time, our recovery was robust. So we expect that this year the incremental, because even the last year the incremental growth in NPA has been lower than the earlier year. So that being the case, it's hardly 36%. So this year we expect these NPAs are definitely going to be lower. But without taking too much on that, we have to necessarily step up recovery. So that last year also we did a robust recovery of cash recovery of 1,400 crores, apart from 1,100 crores of upgradation. And I find that in the 2 months we have done reasonably around 283 crores of cash recovery other than the upgradation. So my point is this year we will definitely reduce our gross NPA. And parallelly we will provide for making our provision coverage to reduce the net NPA. But the point is maybe 1 or 2 quarters we have to, because there are quite a lot of CDR or pipeline cases which they have to find a solution within the banking system. Quite a lot of them are expecting that their cash accrual has to go, or they have to have sale of their non-core assets or some other active assets, so that to bring down the debt level. I think that is an advice to corporate. They have to necessarily do that. If that is taken care, I think our NPA level will be lower, because at the lower level today, there has been a good amount of recovery, and we are quite hopeful that our Lok Adalat or other credit camp will result in better recovery.
All right, Mr. Narendra, thanks a lot for your time, and all the best with your QIP. That's Indian Overseas Bank, one stock which has been re-rated, as has been the entire PSU banking space. But